Welcome back to Broadway's Next on Stage, sponsored by the International College of Musical Theater. And I'm your host, Richard Ridge. Last week, we introduced you to our top 15 from our high school category. Since then, you voted, and we're back tonight to reveal the top 10. Now, our top 10 received the most votes from our most recent round of voting, which opened on Monday, May 17th, and closed last night at midnight. And you voted them into our top 10. So now our esteemed panel of judges will join us to provide valuable feedback for them to use in their next round of performances that'll be voted on by the public next week. They will also review performances from our three contestants who didn't quite make the top three, pushing one of them forward to compete in the next round, and for your votes. Let's welcome our judges, Ariel Jacobs, Brittany Johnson, and Michael James Scott.
Yes!
Hey, everybody, how are you?
Good. I'm so happy to be back. I'm literally like this on like who's here, who's going to be performing. Like Brittany is giving us. She graced our presence with a fierce summer haircut. There's so many things going on. Like it's very exciting. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going down. I'm very excited.
And Ariel's got her big zhuzh room behind her, which is fascinating, fabulous. I love it.
And always a swoop, always a va-va-boom situation happening.
We gotta get it bigger. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen. So judges, today we asked our contestants what their dream roles were. So before we get started, I'm going to ask each of you your dream roles. So let's see. I know you're probably all thinking about that dream role you would like to take on or something. So let's see. Michael, I think I'll start with you. Dream role.
Honestly, my dream role has not been written yet.
Okay.
Not yet. We're still. My dream role. It would be something that like I have some say in, and it hasn't been written yet. Yes, the leading player. Yes, like Cole House Walker. Like those are fantastic roles. Even Elphaba. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying. However, my dream role has not been written yet.
I love that. Okay, Brittany, for you.
I'm stealing that. Usually I just say that I want to originate something, and that is very true. But I think I would love to play Thumbelina in the Broadway musical version of Thumbelina.
Ooh.
Oh, that is like that. All right, everybody watching this, put that out there into the world.
Yes.
I love that story. Wow, Thumbelina the musical. Good for you, Brittany. Okay, Ariel, for you.
I mean, like MJS said, there's so many roles that we don't even know exist. I really love, and I hope to get to bring to New York, the character that I am playing in Between the Lines, which was supposed to come to off Broadway last year, and then now we're waiting to find out when it's going to happen, if it's going to happen. But then I guess if there's like other roles that are already out there on Broadway, I mean, I want to be in Waitress, and I would love to be in Moulin Rouge. So we'll see. I mean, those would be really fun parts too.
I love this. Okay, so if this doesn't happen right away, I think you should do like a benefit concert with the three of you doing numbers from each of these musicals or something. How does that sound?
I would be down. I'd be totally down.
I'll be
Wait, but
What's that?
what about you, Richie? What's your dream role?
Interesting. Okay, so you see the posters behind me. Like I said, dream roles in something. I still would love to play Bud Frump in How to Succeed. I love that role. Or Cornelius Hackle in Hello Dolly. Or I would still like to play. Yeah, those are seriously, those are like my ones I'd like to play.
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
so we'll all do a benefit together. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Next we got
the other judges as well we'll just have a fierce, big old concert.
We should just do a concert.
We gotta get on that.
Oh, we'll get on it. Okay, so listen, for all of you who are watching at home, if you'd like to learn more about our remaining contestants, scan the QR code below to view Broadway World's Stage Mag, which is an interactive virtual program to help you get to know all of our Next on Stage contestants and our judges. And good news, you can create a show program of your very own by visiting stagemag.broadwayworld.com. Okay, judges, are you ready for our top 10?
Yeah.
Ready?
No, I'm not ready at all. I'm just not. Yes, please.
First up, we have Angelica Soto. Angelica's dream role is Nina from In the Heights. Last week, she sang No One Is Alone from Into the Woods. And this week, she's taking on I Speak Six Languages from the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Judges, enjoy.
I speak six languages. Every language easy, as easy as the recipe for making jello. I speak six languages, and I can say hello, and at least seven more. To excel in athletics is not difficult if one has the temperament. Apparently, I have the temperament. Yes, I score some goals. So unfazed am I as my life unscrolls. Unamazed am I don't like to brag. And I won't 'cause I don't have to, but I speak six languages. All-American in hockey, and anything I do without getting sore. I speak six languages, and I like the theme from Rocky, but I play Mozart more.
What a great way to kick off our top 10. Michael, I'm going to start with you.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. All right. Let's kick it off. Here we go. So this is great because, well, awesome. It's lovely to see you back. Yes, I love it because I'm like, oh my gosh, what's gonna be here? This is a song that I find interesting because it is a repeat song, right? You're repeating the lyrics over and over again of this I speak six languages. And as we talked about last week with songs like that, like how do you make those different? What do you do to connect those to make it, that we can still connect to? I think with this song, and specifically when you, at the very end, when you gave a little like movement, I was like, oh, right, like we're in it. And I think part of it was because I was like, well, what's she gonna do to like make it a thing? And so I want more, if you're gonna do this kind of a song where you're in a camera angle like that, I wanna see more action. And in terms that will keep me engaged because there's so much that you have to offer, and I want to see more of that, especially for me at the ending energy. If we could bring that towards more of the beginning. Thank you.
Love it. Brittany, for you.
Yes. I'm trying to read my handwriting and I cannot. What I wanted was you have a lot of character and a lot of things happening behind your eyes, which is amazing. But what I wanted was a little bit more specificity in who you were actually talking to, because I felt like you were you were giving me what I needed, but if you just like were a little bit more specific about who you were talking to, I think it would have exploded a little bit more because you would have changed tactics a little bit. It felt a little bit like one-noted throughout it. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. I loved it. This is just like little nitpicky things to turn it up a little bit higher. Turn it up higher. That works.
Turn it up higher. I love it. Ariel.
Yeah, beautiful job. I think this is a hilarious song, and I really liked the sassiness that you brought with it. I felt like you were such a fully formed character. I felt like I knew how proud you were of yourself, and that your character, what your character thinks about herself. I thought that was super clear. Then I guess the also your placement. Your placement is so good. Really great job. Your vocal placement. But So yeah, Brittany was saying I kind of see that too. Like if you knew who you're talking to, maybe you would have like had different tactics throughout the song to make each approach different as to why do you keep singing this song? Why do you keep repeating yourself? The other thing is, and I thought this in the middle, there's an interlude, a musical interlude before you come in again. And those are the trickiest parts of a song, in my opinion, because you have to fill it with an acting thought as to what's happening in your mind during this time when you're silent. So if you can, like maybe you write out what is this person saying to you that you're listening to them saying, and then you have to respond to them. So figure out how to fill that moment, whether it's you're hearing the person say something, whether it's you get a thought, and then the thought is a question that you then have to answer to yourself or to the other person, but fill it so that it's still alive even when you're not singing.
Okay, Kenny Lee is the next contestant to move on to our top 10. His dream role is Yusnavi in the Heights. Last week, Kenny brought us One Last Time from Hamilton. This week, he's singing If I Didn't Believe in You from the last 5 years. Take it away, Kenny.
Don't we get to be happy, Kathy? At some point down the line, don't we get to relax without some new tourists to push me yet further from you? And if I'm cheering on your side, Kathy, why can't you support mine? Why do I have to feel I've committed some felony, doing what I always swore I would do? I don't want you to hurt. I don't want you to sink. But you know what I think? I think you'll be fine. Just hang on and you'll see. But don't make me wait till you do to be happy for you. Will you listen to me? No one can give you courage. No one can thicken your skin. I will not fail so that you can be comfortable, Kathy. I will not lose because you can't win.
Wow. Okay. Kenny Lee. Ariel, I'll start with you.
Wow, Kenny. I I only have amazing things written down because you're phenomenal. You're absolutely phenomenal. Your your presence and your acting in this song, I mean, yes, your voice is incredible. That's a given. But what you were doing with your stakes and how real you made it, what it just lifted it off of the page. I loved how I really felt like you were talking to somebody. I loved how I felt like you were responding to what you were being given. And even like speaking some things, which I hope that people watching this know you have the freedom to do. In a song where all of the notes are written on a staff on the music, it's okay in the moment to speak words if that's where the emotion is bringing you. I loved it. I loved everything. Oh, and just yeah, how physically free you were with it all too. I just 10 out of 10. That's all I've got. You are fantastic.
I love it. Brittany, for you.
I agree. Oh my goodness, Kenny, you are phenomenal. Like starting in high school, sky's the limit for you. I'm gonna get super nitpicky again because I can, because you're starting from such a great place. I in this kind of song, this is a breakup. So when you're breaking up, maybe I don't know if you've ever broken up with somebody yet, or if you haven't broken up with, but when you break up with someone that you love, I agree. You had so many different tactics that you were using. I wanted them to be a little bit more specific, and maybe separate. I wanted to see the transition. I'm transitioning now from letting her down a little bit easy to no, I'm upset. I'm upset. You are, whatever it is that she has said back to you has made you respond in that way. I wanted you to, I guess, stay a little bit longer in each tactic so that it could settle. Um, and I wanted you to start connected to her. That's literally just like a focus thing. I just kind of wanted you to start on her so that you could establish your relationship with her before you kind of went into what was very natural and human, which I love, which is like when you move around, when you talk to people, you don't stare at them the whole time, which I thought fantastic.
Beautiful. Michael.
I mean, come on, Kenny. Come on now. Somebody's trying to, win this thing. Come on now. First of all, in the moment check, voice check, stakes check, acting check, like all the things, right? And I'm with Brittany. Like I'm gonna have to just I guess really specific, really detailed, because I'm like I want to give something to that because I also had amazing. All like Ariel, like just like amazing. Oh, work amazing. Oh, yes, like just everything was amazing. But I will say in this song, and as Brittany said, obviously it's a breakup song, right? It's about a breakup. I want to know in terms of where the challenge for me would be to you is to find the love. Where is the love in this breakup? Because it can be one note. And I would challenge you in sort of playing and just seeing if you can find the love, so that we might be able to see a place of in your eyes, just sort of like, gosh, what it was, what it used to be, so that we can feel that too. Just that juxtaposition. For me, it would be find the love in this. And then real quick, just a little bit, bring your camera, tilt it down just slightly, just like a half an inch, because there was a lot of room on the top of your head. But that's it.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, next up is Bridget Sindelar, whose dream role is Zoe from Dear Evan Hansen. Last week, she brought us In My Dreams from Anastasia. This week, Bridget is singing Stupid with Love from Mean Girls. Enjoy.
When I was 5, I fell in love. It didn't last. He ran from me, literally ran from me. And being Kenyan, he ran fast. By 13, I gave up trying. I decided I would be a mathematician. 'Cause math is real. I memorized a lot of pi because addition and subtraction and division would never make me feel so stupid with love. Like I didn't get it. I didn't get it somehow. Smart with math, but stupid with love. I didn't get it. I didn't get it till now. I'm astounded and nonplussed. I am filled with calculus. Does this guy work out? He must. All sweaty at the gym. Could that image be more hot? Let me just enjoy that thought. School was rough, but now it's not. 'Cause now there's him. It's all so simple. Stupid with love. But I can get it. Watch this girl self-educate. I learned math so I can learn love. You wanna bet it? That I can get it? Just wait. Just wait. Just wait.
Okay, here we go with Bridget. MJ, I'll start with you.
Well, yes, Bridget. Yes, come on. It's so funny. I feel like everyone's giving us like the work through song right now. Like that sort of like, which is interesting. It's like, is it like the second week? Like, okay, let me give you some work through fierceness, right? And this. And I also feel like each song you really have to set up this sort of, where you are like really creating this environment. Because, for example, in this song, Bridget, I think that your voice is so beautiful, and it's such a great song for you. Like in terms, like you could be playing the role, So you're like giving a fierce audition on this platform. Congratulations, which is awesome. I would say for you to not be afraid to be not polished, not be afraid to be like, ugly, if you will. Not be afraid to be imperfect. To be real with this idea of truly like quirky and like stupid with love. That though the phrase stupid with love, it to me, there's so much fun that you can play with. And I think that to just have more fun with that in terms of the colors with the lyrics.
Beautiful. Brittany, for you.
Yes, Bridget, I love your voice. Stunning. The color, especially, I mean, when you got to the end, it's like the vibrato, like I got a chill. You have a stunning, stunning, stunning voice. Two things. I want you to think about filling those musical interludes. And Ariel was kind of talking about this with the previous song. It's so important to still have something going on. I like to think of the music as our inner monologue. So a lot of the times the music actually informs what you're feeling. So and so that was the other thing I wanted to say, which Evan just about letting yourself unravel a little bit. Because this song is about, she is very polished and proper, and like she knows math, she knows things that make sense. This is something that doesn't make sense to her. So over the course of the song, unravel a little bit from not understanding something. You know what I mean? It's the first time in your life where it just doesn't click, and you're like, I'm stupid with love, I'm all of these things, and just have a little bit of fun with not knowing. Get a little sloppy.
Love it. Ariel, for you.
Yes, yes. Bridget, you're so good. I loved your performance of this song. I also think, like MJS said, you could play this part. You're ready. I like it. Um, so the only things I wrote down, your voice is spectacular, and your presence and your environment, and like seeing the people, the guy that you like. I saw everything. So kudos to you for making it real and believable, and believing it yourself, because we only believe it if you believe it. So I believed that you believed it. And then the only thing I think, a couple things is, I agree with what the other two have said about letting yourself go. I wrote down, you can be more physically free. And I think that was a little bit of just like letting yourself get ugly, letting yourself get like, I'm going crazy because I love him so much. But the figuring it out for yourself can get more and more intense. It can be like starting from a smaller place of I didn't get it before, but now I get it. And the more that you get it, the more that it riles you up, and you don't know what to do with your body. And ride the energy wave of that physically as well. And don't be afraid to look foolish. Do not ever be afraid to look foolish, because you just living in an emotion is going to be really relatable for people. And then the other thing is, I craved a little bit more of a mixed belt at the end. I don't know if you have that in your toolbox, but I would encourage you to develop it. Look into figuring out for you how to get more of like that chesty speak sound higher up, so that it can be very powerful and not too soprano-y at the very end. Great job.
I love these notes from all of you. This is great. Okay, up next is Matthew Butcher, whose dream role is the Phantom in The Phantom of the Opera. Last week he sang Wondering from The Bridges of Madison County, and this week he's singing Heaven's Light from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Enjoy.
So many times out there I've watched a happy pair of lovers walking in the night. They had a kind of glow around them. It almost looked like heaven's light. I knew I'd never know that warm and loving glow, though I might wish with all my might. No face as hideous as my face was ever meant for heaven's light. But suddenly an angel has smiled at me and touched my face without a trace of fright. I dared to dream that she might even care for me, and as I ring the bells tonight, my cold dark towers seem so bright. I swear it must be heaven's
Yeah.
Terrific. Brittany, I'm going to start with you this time.
I am on the verge of tears. Matthew, your voice. Oh my goodness. Stunning. It's like the roundness of your tone. You're like right in the pocket on all the notes. It's so beautiful. I didn't write anything down except voice, exclamation point. If I could give you one thing to think about for this song, this is such a complex character, and I was really happy to see that you were finding the joy in all of it, but I actually missed a little bit of his darkness, a little bit of the pain of him. And I think there's something to finding the joy through pain as opposed to putting joy just on top of it. I don't know if that makes sense or if there's a better way to say that, but I would love for you to start maybe in your homework at home, to start from a very dark place so that you can find the joy through it and see what that does from behind your eyes, because the rest of it is there. It's beautiful.
Great. Ariel, for you.
Fantastic job. I'm so astonished by you. Both last week and this week, I mean, I want to just hear you sing forever. Forever. You're just so good. And moving. I feel moved when you sing. So fantastic. I loved I loved so much about that performance. I loved your voice, of course. I loved the environment you found yourself in and the joy that you had. I think I wish the camera was on us when we watch you guys, because my jaw and my smile was so big when I first saw you in the pose with this slight smile on your face. I felt like I saw you as the hunchback, but you were likable, and I was rooting for you, which is the biggest thing, is like making sure that the audience is connecting to you and rooting for you, and I was. Um, I think the only thing that similar to what Brittany said, is every time you said heaven's light, what does that mean for you? I think when I heard you say heaven's light, I saw that you were switching a little bit more towards vocal production. That's what it came across as. It might not be true, but I would love to know, what is heaven's light for you? And it could be, like Brittany said, that it's more this unattainable thing, but is it unattainable because of where you come from, and relating it more towards how hard it is given your circumstance. So that was really the only thing, but I loved how much joy you had. I loved the physicality. Your voice is tremendous, and I'm just really excited for whatever you sing next week.
That's great. MJ, for you.
I mean, I like literally. First of all, I live for a Disney ballad, so don't even get, come on now. Like and also the fact that you're like saying, I'm gonna do a Disney ballad, but you're like, I'm gonna do it fiercely. I mean, come on now. It's just so awesome, like the guts of being able to do that, and the like your ability is so high that it is, you are setting the bar. I also am living for the signature Matthew, to the camera situation, like with like, I'm like, come on, yes, where is it? There it is. I will say, I would say this. I also love an artist that leads with joy, and to me, you seem like that kind of an artist. And so I could tell from last week and this week, and I definitely agree. And now it's time to play with the sort of darker side within that joy, and leaning into that and not being afraid to go there. that is something I have to do, because I'm like immediately I want to start from a joyful place and go from there, right? But there's so much more to that onion, that layer peeling away that um, uh, all the stuff, all the goodness underneath. I will say this to you: there are things in the song like when you're touching your face and those kinds of things. Why are you doing those movements? Like, ask that question and really make it specific. Do it if you want to do it. You also don't have to. You don't have to. So I will just say, play around with that, and the really why, because this song is so powerful that when you do those movements, we pay attention. So if you do it and it might not be from coming from a place that seems, maybe it's just sort of like a choreographic movement, I'm going to notice that much more because you're so good at setting us the moment. I also would like to say to you, in this competition that I might want to hear you sing She Cries from Songs for a New World. If you don't know that, put that in your book, because I feel like you will live and nail that. I'm just saying.
Next is Lacey Kelly, whose dream role is Roxy in Chicago. Last week, Lacey brought us The Beauty Is from The Light in the Piazza. This week, Lacey is singing Cute Boys with Short Haircuts from Vanities. Enjoy.
And nothing stops the cute boys with short haircuts who surround me each day. I'm not so grand or in demand or pretty like they say, not pretty like the cute boys with short haircuts, with the games that they play, the games of all the cute boys with broad shoulders, loving all they survey, and loving being cute boys with low voices and low morals and no interest. Cute boys with short haircuts never look in my way. So here I sit, and that's how it will stay. Thanks to shattered trust and some sly disgust, no more cute boys with short haircuts. And I guess that's just okay.
Yes, terrific. Ariel, I'm going to start with you.
Wow, that was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. I have no real big notes here because the voice was spectacular. The talking to somebody in front of you and having an opinion about everything you say was so good, so good. The only thing I have here is and yes, making it your own. Yes, riff, but only because you emotionally wanted to, needed to as a character. Yes, good job. Um, the only thing here I have is like the very last moment. What is the song leading to? And I was talking about this in the last previous song about that the audience wants to root for you. So the audience wants to root for somebody, a character who's not wallowing. The audience wants to root for a character that is going to power through something and has drive and believes in themselves and is hopeful. So regardless of how hard the journey is emotionally that your character is going through, decide at the very end um, whether you can find a moment of not just like this is how it is and surrender, but more I can take this and I'm going to move forward with this. And, how can you spin it to make it positive so that the audience is rooting for you? That is my only note for you. You did a fantastic job.
Beautiful. Brittany, for you.
Yes, I completely agree, Lacey. You can do everything. Everything. Especially when you said your dream role is Roxy. I need to see put a little bit of, I'm gonna need to see it. I have a couple things just to sprinkle a little bit on top of what you're already giving. I think it would help you if you got super specific. I know you're talking about cute boys plural, but can you find one person that you're actually talking about? I think that it would just change something behind your. I think I'm harping on specificity today because that's what I need from everybody. I need everybody to talk to one person. And if you're talking to a lot of people, just because I think it's gonna unlock something behind your eyes. This is a great song for having 3 acts. Every good song has 3 acts usually. And especially when you're doing an audition cut, try to find something that you can have a clear beginning, middle, and end. In your beginning, you have a specific opinion. You're setting up who you're talking to. You build to act 2. This song was great. You're like ramping up to that big moment. And then like Ariel was saying, for act 3 is the reason why you sang act 1 and act 2. And it's either you settling into whatever position you had, it's you making a new decision about what you've been working on in act 1 and 2, but you have to have a specific opinion about it and be strong in your decision. And I just wanted your joy about accepting yourself to start a little bit sooner. I felt like I got it in like the last word, and I wanted it to come in the last phrase.
Beautiful. MJ, for you.
I mean, first of all, you basically you're giving a full mic drop of, oh, I can riff as well. I can do like I said, oh, okay, they are letting us have it with all of that. For me, it was the Will riff. Will, I was like, okay, there they are. And it was, what was great is that, like Ariel said, it came from someplace. It wasn't just a showy kind of thing. And I think the 3 of us have agreed. Some folks like to just riff, but the 3 of us like a riff, but that it means something, right? So I think we all were like, oh, okay. I agree with my girls. I agree with them. Like what that journey, so that at the end it means something a bit more. Because for me, I said, don't be afraid to flirt. Don't be afraid to go on that journey of these cute boys that you're singing about. And like Brittany said, maybe picking one, but like all the things about it. So that in the beginning, the color of, what that does to you physically, what that does to you, like, oh my gosh, I'm like uncomfortable, but like, I love it. You know what I mean? So that it breaks our heart that at the end of all of this flow and like this feel of the description of whatever the cute boy means to you, that at the end, we see you and we feel this change. And all of that stuff in the beginning has gone away because now you have opened this other part, this 3rd act, as Brittany just said. So I would say play with that. But I mean, come on, you've come to play. So, we're here. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the game.
I love it. Okay, our next contestant to make the top 10 is Jackson Perry. Jackson's dream role is Simba in The Lion King. Last week he took on Enjoy the Trip from Bring It On, and this week he's singing Hero and Leander from Myths and Hymns.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, I need you. I need the rise and fall of your voice. And oh, I love you. And now I have a love to rejoice. Hero and Leander, how your passion is brave. Even if I drown here inside this wave, my lighthouse on the shoreline, my passion on this lonely sea, my
was meant to be.
Right?
I'm out. I'm out. I'm out.
All right,
Oh,
MJ, I'm going to start with you. Jackson.
first of all, Jackson, okay, you chose Hero Leander like an Adam Ghetto full mic drop song. I mean, Adam Ghetto, like, is very not easy to sing. And I actually, Lisi also last week sang an Adam Ghetto as well. So basically, again, you all are here to play. I love this song, and I love that you chose this song because it's so different for me to see a man of color doing something that is not obvious. And I love that from you. I love that you are not afraid to do that. And I love that you are playing with that. And I think you need to continue to play with that in terms of like where we are today. And I think that you were setting about like you're sort of setting things that are saying, I'm not apologizing for all that like who I am, and I'm doing it in an Adam Ghetto song. And that to me is so inspiring and so wonderfully yummy on so many levels at your age that you are doing that and literally not being afraid to just to do your own take to it. I will say to you with this song, it is so hard. It is so legato in terms of like where you're going and like the notes of it. So don't let the song lead you. You lead it because it's very easy to get lost in the sort of wallow of the song. But I mean, I'm in a full gag, meaning that in a great way, about it all. Okay, I'll shut up.
Love it. Brittany.
Jackson. I mean, I saw it last week, so I don't know why I'm surprised. But every time you open your mouth, I'm like, where did that come from? And then you give the real. I mean, if you could see our videos, maybe we should let them see the videos of us. I mean, I was floored. I was stunned. I don't actually know this song, so I love hearing songs that I don't know because I can look at it from a completely unbiased point of view.
Brittany, do you know Mitts and Hems?
No.
You need to get on Mitts and Hems because you need to sing from this show yourself as well. I'm just saying. Sorry.
I'm gonna go back to being specific. I need you to get specific about who you're talking to, and I think that is actually gonna help what MJ was saying about don't let the song lead you. Because if this is a serenade to a person that you love, which I would totally believe if that's what it is, if it's a serenade, then it's directed toward that person, and so it's okay if you get lost in it because you're getting lost in it for them. As long as it's directed towards another person. Yeah, live in it. Give me all the risk because there's a reason for all of it. But I was like, is that Peebo Bryson reincarnate? I
mean, Jackson also sing. Listen to "Awaiting You" as well from Mitts and Hems. Another song that I think you also will kill. "Awaiting You." Throwing it out there.
I'm so sorry. My Wi-Fi is really having issues today.
Listen, mine had it yesterday. I had the Coopers with me. I had Chuck Cooper, and I had to raise my hand for the mic to be turned on, and Nicole would mute me again. It happens. So, it all is what it is. So let's talk about Jackson.
Jackson, I'm just glad I did not miss that performance because amazing. I am in awe. I am in awe of you. I am so in awe of you. And like Michael James Scott said, Adam Ghetto is not easy.
Oh.
So what a choice to sing that song, to sing anything from that score, really. I felt like every time you sing, your voice is like a wave, and I feel like it washes over me in a fantastic way. I really loved your how you really got in touch with the love of the song, the love you were feeling. MGS said this earlier to somebody else, to find what you love. And I saw you relish the love that you felt for this other person. The one thing I wished I saw was a little bit of the surprise that it caused you that you were feeling this much love. So there's so many levels to love, and when it washes over you, there's all of the colors of it. There's like the wanting to protect the person. There's the feeling of, oh, it just feels so wonderful. You want to live in it. Or I mean, a lot of people in high school or younger, if you've never felt like that, imagine eating something really delicious. Just think about food. Eat some really yummy chocolate and relish that feeling of chocolate. It works. It's still the same. You can love food. It's okay. I love food.
Me too.
So, yeah. So it just the different colors of love. I mean, you could explore that even more, whether it surprises you to feel so overwhelmed by this emotion. There's so many colors to go through, and um, I think you can play with that in this song, particularly because this whole song is about just how much you love this person. So that's really my only note is I guess what Brittany was saying, specificity of like the different colors that you can bring to a general, if it's seeming like a one note emotion, what are the different colors that can go into that?
I love it. I love that you're using food to cause an emotion because like these are high school kids and they're singing love songs and everything else, but even all of us, if you haven't been through as many as you're working on in a show, think of food, either food you don't like or food that you absolutely
Sometimes
love.
it's a smell. If you're like supposed to be disgusted by some idea or some person, it could be like a smell that you know really grosses you out. I mean, you can use that anything.
Marina Jensen is up next. Marina's dream role is that of Olivia from Miss You Like Hell. Last week they sang Lucky to Be Me from On the Town. And this week they're performing Something's Coming from West Side Story. Judges, enjoy.
Could be. Who knows? There's something to do any day. I will know right away as soon as it shows. And come cannonballing down through the sky, gleaming inside, bright as a rose. Who knows? It's only just out of reach, down the block by a beach, under a tree. I got a feeling there's a miracle too, gotta come true, coming to me. Could it be? Yes, it could. Something's coming, something good. If I can wait, something's coming. I don't know what it is, but it is gonna be great. With a click, with a shock, phone will jingle, door knock, open the latch. Come on, something, come on in, don't be shy. Meet a guy, pull up a chair. Around the corner, or whistling down the river. Come on, deliver to me.
So beautiful.
All
Ariel,
right.
right? Woof. Ariel,
Wow,
I start with you.
so beautiful. I love your voice on this song. Your voice always. You sound incredible. Um, Yeah, I think the only thing I wrote down a little bit more, I was craving a little bit more hopefulness in the beginning. I felt there was a little bit of sadness. I don't know if that was intended or what you were feeling in the beginning. I think that for me, I got more of that hopeful excitement like halfway through the song, but I kind of wanted it to start there, but covered. So imagine you're like, a boiling tea kettle or something, and there's all this excitement, but then you want to like cover it because you don't want to get too excited, but it's living inside of you, but you don't want to get too excited. So there's that battle within yourself. Yeah, I think that was the only thing I craved. But besides that, I loved this performance. I loved your voice. I loved how much emotion you brought into it and how free you were with seeing all the exciting things. With a click, with a shock, funnel jingle, door lock. What is that? Those little things that you hear um, really also define what they are for you. Because I know that those are kind of weird lyrical things that maybe in today's world we don't really know why Doral lock. Why is that exciting? So for yourself, maybe like decide that that means something else, or figure out maybe your grandpa said that that's what happens when something exciting is going to come. But figure out why is that personal for you. Besides that, fantastic job.
That's great. Brittany, for you.
Yes, I agree. Marina, your eyes are so expressive and telling. Everything that you feel, I see in your eyes. Therefore, you have to be so, here's that word again, specific about what you think in every single moment, because I'm going to be able to tell if you don't know what something means or you don't know what your opinion about it is. I'm going to know because your eyes are going to give it away. So yes, I completely agree with Ariel. There has to be this, it's like something on the surface. It's like I wrote down desperate, but I don't think that's the word. I think it just is like there's more intensity behind it, so that it's like it's this and it's that and it's coming right behind the bend, and I can't get too excited because of what if, like I need to feel a little bit more of that like push and push and pull, because it's just gonna make it more exciting for us. I'm gonna be excited for what's coming around the bend for you too. I want to be so excited. And I wonder if you could. This is something kind of like playing against what the words are saying. Can you convince yourself during the song so that like you're convincing yourself that there's something coming right around the bend? Like maybe you're not fully convinced at the beginning, and you're working yourself up into it so that by the end, that's when you really know. So that you have those three acts like we were talking about before. Great job. It's so good.
Well, Michael.
Yes, Marina, like living. Like, come on, Marina. I too, I agree with my girl Brittany in terms like your eyes are so expressive. Like it is crazy. If you are not doing TV work or work, like I think you would work in TV as well. Like you have such a thing with you, like the camera lives for you, and it's so great to watch. And because of that, all that specificity that Brittany is talking about, and what Ariel was saying too, I think will really come to life. That hopefulness, that joy, because that was my biggest note, is that to not be afraid of the joy as well, like the hope of it, because this song is so iconic. It's so, many things. I love that you were not afraid to do it as well. I love that you just did this particular song. Like, to me, that's so beautiful. And you kind of have, you kind of have a bit of Ariel Jacob quality to your voice. I'm just saying, like, because I know
Why,
that
thank
voice
you.
very well. I know
Thanks.
that voice very well. I would hear it over the monitor while I was getting genified in Australia. They were doing Glitter on Me, and I would hear her singing, this, and you kind of have this quality in that is so crystal clear, and like your tone is literally, as a good friend, Miss Capathia Jenkins, the theist Capathia Jenkins says, like you were singing in the center of your soul, like the center of your tone, and that is what that's your voice. So that's what I'll say about that. It's just sort of like to find that hope, that joy, especially in something like this.
Just beautiful. Okay, next up we have Reese Henrik. Reese's dream role is Wednesday Addams in the Addams Family. Last week she sang Kindergarten Boyfriend from Heathers. This week she's taking on Holding to the Ground from Falsettos. Enjoy. Oh yeah.
I'm plain, I don't astound. I'm holding to the ground as the ground keeps shifting, keeping my balance square. Trying not to think about that man who Marvin loves. That's my life. He shared my life. Yes, that's my life. Life is never what you plan. Life is moments you can't understand. And that is life. Holding to the ground as the ground keeps shifting. Trying to keep sane as the rules keep changing. Keeping my head up as my heart falls out of sight. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright.
These are high school kids.
Amazing. So
Cool.
amazing.
All right, Ariel, I'll start with you.
I can't. I'm so astonished. Wow. Okay, Reese. I love your timbre as a singer. I love how much life you bring to every song that you sing. I love that I see you going through moments throughout the song. Um, I loved how you started that song too. Like we were catching you laughing in the middle of a moment. That was fantastic. Because that's the goal, right? We want to make sure that whenever we're performing, it feels like we're just living and the audience is observing a private moment. And for you, I felt like we really were. That was fantastic. Um, the one thing I wrote down is every time you say "That's my life," that's my life. Every time you say it, I go back to this a lot when I feel like I'm saying this a lot today. But like the different colors of a certain emotion, the different colors of "That's my life" is. Are you telling somebody that that's your life? Are you telling yourself that that's your life? Are you convincing yourself that this is what life is? What is the thought that makes them all different? What are the different thoughts between, underneath every time that you say that? That's my life. And I really loved how you ended it too, because you were playing against the lyric. And yeah, that's a very intelligent thing to do, is to play the opposite of what the lyric is. And I think that it it shows the complexity of who you are as an actor and the complexity of the writing and the music. So you're kind of, yeah, making everybody look good, but also just making making it more relatable, because life is complex. And I felt all of that complexity in your performance. So I'm just blown away.
That's great. Brittany, for you.
I completely agree with Ariel. Yes to all of it. I was entranced honestly throughout your entire performance. As soon as you popped up on my screen, I was up here the whole time. Because you have it about you that it just like draws me in to that end. Because you have this quality, as soon as you're not tapped in for whatever reason, I fall out. And then I come right back in when you're tapped in. So that's what I'm gonna say. Specificity. But for this particular, for songs that are like when we're talking to ourselves, or when it's very internal, we have to find ways to bring it out so that we invite the audience to have the experience with us. And so for me, that's finding moments to either direct that intention toward someone or something that I want, something that I'm trying to pull toward me, if that makes sense. It's just a way to allow the audience to have this experience with you, because it's so great. It's so great. For next week, or just in your life, in your book, something that I want to see from you. I want to see you do a song that requires a little bit more stillness, so that I can see how. I want to see you near airport. Sorry. I see you be still and see what that brings out. What colors, as Ariel says, that it will bring out in you. So if you feel like it, maybe for next week.
I love it. Michael, from you.
Reese, girl. Okay. I mean, I love that you did this song. First of all, you're fierce. You have moved up to one of my favorites. I'm like, you were, I'm just saying, you've moved up. I'm Miss Thing, you've moved up. Yes. And you are here to, like, you're like, I am winning. No, Booze, I am winning. Like, and I live for that. I love that so I feel like so many young artists right now, like your age, are doing so much of the contemporary musical theater canon that a lot of the older material is sometimes lost and people forget about, and they're like, oh my god, it's so good. I love that you did this song because it is so good, and you kind of like threw us back, like you took us back to a place, and you forget about some of these old school songs that literally let us have it. And it's why the contemporary, where like the Pasek and Pauls of today, where they got some of their inspiration from. And that is so wonderful to hear and to see and to revisit, because it reminds us of where we've come from and really how far we've come, but like that there's still some fierce, amazing material that I love that you're tackling. I would say to you, one thing is just a little bit of your focus, just bring it just slightly down, just a little bit with your eyes, so that we can see a bit more of that, because like Brittany says, I'm with you. And as soon as you go out a little bit, it takes me out as well. But I love that you are coming to play, and you are also like giving us you're giving us show moments, and also like the acting stuff. And that to me, like your belt is so healthy and so full and like all the things. I live for a hashtag Saturday Night on Broadway belt. Like you are letting me have it. Like you are giving me Stephanie Block, like that sort of like big old belt. I love, like literally getting to do a show with her. It's the same kind of a thing. And where I'm like, I would love to like listen to Reese, like when I would listen to Stephanie do her song, the Pirate Queen, that big old beautiful belt, and you literally just took us in because you had us, and you can do anything with that voice. So I'm like, I'm gonna shut up.
Only 2 contestants left. Next is Tommy Newman, whose dream role is Joe March in Little Women. Last week, Tommy sang What Do I Need with Love from Thoroughly Modern Millie, and this week she's singing Dying Ain't So Bad from Bonnie and Clyde. Enjoy.
But a short and loving life, that ain't so bad. I've met boys who talk about farms and horses, but they don't do much for me. I don't need to end up in a rocking chair. I mean, it seems you get to live your life just once, and if that's how it's gotta be, then I'd rather breathe in life than dusty earth. Dying ain't so bad, not if you both go together. Only when you're left alone does it get sad. But a short and loving life, a short and loving life, that ain't so bad.
Wow. Okay. Michael, I'm going to start with you.
No, like how dare you, Tommy? Like how dare you? Like I like Brittany. I'm in a full stun like situation. Like my face, I feel like my face has been cracked. Like just like full on. Like I don't even understand what just happened. I living for. I mean, yes, you are amazing. It's so awesome. Your acting is so good. Like it's so good. And I also just love that you opened up to a place that I didn't know that we were going. Like I love a surprise. I live for like a danger zone, like a highway to the danger zone situation where I did not know that was coming. And you literally took us there. And that to me is it's such an exciting, thrilling thing. It's like a Cynthia Erivo quality where it's just of that danger. And you're like, oh, we're still going. And you just go. And I not you that is something that cannot be taught. And you just have it. You also have this old school vibrato to me, like this like tone. You have this like you've been here before kind of tone that I'm like this is kind of like it's a moment. So for me, the only thing that I will say to you is lean into because you're already doing it. Lean into that. Keep going in that uncomfortable zone where you were living because you have this thing about you and I like where you're going. I also might want to hear you sing "The Wizard and I." I'm just saying. I would like to see what you would do with that song, knowing who we're seeing on the camera and your tone and something different like now with that kind of a song because you absolutely have those notes. So yes, you've also moved up to about one of the favorites. I don't know what's going on right now. She's out.
Brittany, for you.
Tommy, your voice, your presence, it's all there. From the before you even started singing, I was with you.
Yes.
Also, I was living for your outfit. Wonderful. The only thing I have, because you were very specific and I was with you the whole time, so thank you for preemptively taking my note. I'm going to give you something that is purely technical because I agree with MJ. I love your vibrato and I missed it a little bit when you open up to those big notes. And I think something that might help you, you're a little bit wide right now. And if you can just focus literally just with your mouth, bring it in a little bit, spread a little bit less, I actually think your vibrato might come in a little naturally. Right now, when you have too much space in there, like in your resonance is like, where am I going? What's happening? But if you focus it a little bit more, just like spread a little bit less, and I think your vibrato might come in. I don't know, maybe we'll see.
Beautiful. Elle, for you.
Fantastic job, Tommy. Yes. I loved it. I love every time you sing. I really do. And I agree with what these two have already said. You're spectacular. Loved your outfit, loved your voice. There is this wise quality to you. I think MGS was saying that it's like, I don't know, it's like old school. But to me, it feels just like very wise and mature and like dropped in, which is fantastic and so rare for someone in high school. I mean, I'm just excited for all of the roles that you get to play with that energy because it's really special. Um, Dusty air, big high note, big loud note, big surprise, right? MJS, I loved the big surprise. I agree with Brittany. I wish that you had that straight tone into a little vibrato at the end. Right now it was just straight tone the whole time. It would feel really a big release for us listening to it if you could put a little vibrato at the end of that. When you get to the next section of dying together, I felt like you were a little bit in yourself more than trying to communicate to the other person that you were talking to. I wanted it a little bit more like you're saying this to get your point across to that person, not because um, it felt a little stuck in yourself. So the biggest note in general, whenever you're singing a song to somebody, is that you have to make the other person more important than yourself, and it's going to draw your performance outward, as opposed to having so much drama and stuff that I see you feeling so much, but I kind of wanted it more in an outward direction. So just make the other person more important because you're trying to get them to realize something. And then the last thing I had is the very end of the song. I was saying this to someone else earlier. um right now it feels like a downer. And I want the end of the song to feel a little bit like self-satisfied. Like you're proud of what you're saying and this is a decision that you've made, not that you're giving into something.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Great job.
That's great. Okay, judges, and the final contestant to make our top 10 is Joshua Thompson. His dream role is
Oh,
Judas from Jesus Christ Superstar. Last week, you heard him sing Magic to Do from Pippin. This week, he's taking on The Wall in My Head from Everybody's Talking About Jamie. Enjoy.
Something he said, his words built a wall inside my head. Just one little thing, didn't mean that much to him, but it keeps building and building and building. This wall in my head, this wall in my head. Just one tiny thought, started out so small. The thought made a brick, the bricks made a wall, and the wall trips me up, and the wall trips me down, and it keeps building and building and building. This wall in my head, this wall in my head. And here I stand with my feet stuck to the floor as I shout down the street, screaming for more. Over the wall, I can't believe I've had it all. Over the wall, I see my future standing tall, and I keep climbing and climbing and climbing this wall in my head, and I keep climbing and climbing and climbing this wall in my head, climbing this wall in my head, and I keep climbing this wall in my head.
What a way to close out the top 10. Ariel, I'll start with you.
Fantastic. Joshua, your voice is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's butter. Your voice is butter. I love it. It's perfect. Yeah, fantastic job. The only things I wrote down, who are you talking to and what do you want from that person? Who are you talking to and why are you saying these things? I was a little unclear about that. So just for yourself, always, who are you speaking to? What did they say? What are you responding to? So you have a moment before. And then why do you keep repeating yourself? This song has so many repeating lyrics. So the reason that lyrics repeat themselves, yes, they sound pretty, but emotionally, there's got to be something that instigates it. So my biggest thing for you is, what is the question that you are trying to answer that makes you keep repeating these lyrics? Maybe it's an emotional question of like, how am I going to get through this? Why doesn't anybody understand? Some sort of like esoteric question that you have to keep singing through it to find the answer. So that would be my biggest note is figure out why you're saying all of these things. What's your question that you're trying to figure out? And the last thing is, see if you can just incorporate a little bit more stillness. There was a lot of swaying side to side, which I get how it feels like vocally that gives you a lot of freedom, but on camera it can just feel a little bit too much. So for next time, just like see if you can have the vocal freedom and the emotional freedom, but a little bit more in one place.
Beautiful. Brittany, for you.
Yes, Joshua, your voice, it's stunning. It's stunning. I love it. A couple things. Technically, can you move your focus, like your main focus? Right now, you're looking at us in the camera. Even if you can just put it a little bit off to the side, It won't. I think it'll be helpful for you sometimes, especially depending on what kind of device you're using. I think I get really awkward when I'm looking at a camera, but if I can imagine something else there, or if I can look at something, I'm looking at a box right now, but it's somehow more alive than it is because I can direct it toward that box as opposed to me trying to emote into a camera. So if you can just move your focus, move your main else. I would love next week. Can you pick a song where you can sing less? You can do a little bit less so that we can hear the intent of whatever it is that you're saying. Like for this song, I wanted to know what the wall is for you. Why did you put that wall up? Are you working your way over the wall right now? Are you busting through the wall? How like what is it? Why is it important for you to get over it? Do you get over it at the end? Like this especially like what Ariel was just saying, when you have a song that has a lot of repetition, it's almost as if you're repeating it because you haven't solved it yet. So you have to keep asking the question and find new ways to answer it every time you repeat it. So if next time, sing a song that you get to sing less, worry less about how beautiful it's going to sound beautiful regardless. So pick something that that you can tell a full story, beginning, middle, end, and just talk to us and not to the camera.
Love it. For you, NJS.
Well, listen, the girls literally said all my notes, so I'm that, which is great. We're all on the same page, so there's nothing to add for that. I love that you were here. I love that you were in our top 10. I was hoping you would be, so it was lovely to see, especially after you opening us with Magic to Do last week and like closing us out here today. So I just love that you gave us that, and you gave us a new color. I absolutely agree with the ladies. I will say this to you, this little technical note, because they said my notes. So with our chocolatey, gorgeous skin tone, me included, our mocha frappuccino gorgeous skin that we give you right on camera, I will say play with the lighting in terms of, for example, I think you have a pretty harsh white kind of light. It's a bit more like I'm not sure if you're using a ring light or what kind of light you're using. Think about more yellows, that sort of like those tones in there that will actually just tone that down and give more warmth to the thing, so that, for example, your teeth and like aren't blown out, so we're not looking at like a Colgate commercial, right? So like just like technical things, these are things that I had to learn as well with our gorgeous chocolatey skin, you see. And so I'll say that to you, is to play with that, because you have such like, you're so beautiful, you're so like there, like it's like you're so striking on camera and all those things. I want us to see you. I want us to be able to, and not be distracted by lighting or anything like that. So play with the tones of the lighting, shoot yourself for like a couple seconds, watch it, and see what that is, and then compare the two, more of a yellowy warm light, and then that sort of like whiter light that you're using, so that you can see for yourself. That's what I'll say to you, just with a little technical note, just to add on to that. But
that natural light is wonderful. I'm using a ring light right now, but with the natural light, just turn the ring light down, and then it's more.
You don't even have to use more exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Well, there we have it, our top 10. Now, when we come back, our judges will see performances from the 3 contestants who almost got there as they battle it out for the last spot in our top 10. Okay, welcome back. Now our judges will see performances from the performers who almost made it into the top 10. The judges will then convene and decide to allow one of these contestants to move forward with the competition. So up first is Connor Kloss. Last week he sang Maria from West Side Story, and this week he's singing Words Fail from Dear Evan Hansen. Judges, enjoy Connor.
I wanna slam on the brake before I even turn the key, before I make the mistake, before I lead with the worst of me. I never let them see the worst of me. What if everyone saw? What if everyone knew? Would they like what they saw? Or would they hate it too? Will I just keep on running away from what's true? All I ever do is run. So how do I step into the sun? Step into the sun.
All right, next we have Sammy Schneider, who last week sang Alyssa Green from The Prom. This week she is bringing us Killer Instinct from Bring It On. Enjoy.
Do I sound awful? What have I become? Who's that girl in the mirror I see? Some backstabbing whack job I'd run screaming from. Oh God, I just love being me. Wouldn't all of you kill to be me? You need that killer instinct since time first began. From Genghis Khan to Bristol Palin, you need a killer plan. You need to reach the top if it's the last thing you do. I'm the girl to beat, the high school queen. Seniors kiss my ass and I'm just 15. I'm raising hell and I'm a felon in a 4-foot frame. I just used my killer instinct and my dreams come true.
And last up for your consideration is Chesley Duke. Last week she sang Little Miss Perfect from Right Out Loud, and this week she's singing Watch What Happens from Newsies. Enjoy.
You give those kids and me the brand new century, and watch what happens. Oh, it's David and Goliath, do or die, the fight is on. And I can't watch what happens. But all I know is nothing happens if you just give in. It can't be any worse than how it's been. And it just so happens that we just might win. So whatever happens, let's begin.
Judges, good luck with your decision. When we come back, our judges are going to share who they want to save from the bottom three. Broadway's Next on Stage is sponsored by the International College of Musical Theater, offering world-class musical theater training taught by West End and Broadway professionals. They bring in the very best talent from both sides of the Atlantic. who know what it takes to succeed in order to provide the best training available anywhere in the world. So go to www.theicmt.com today to start your journey to Broadway, the West End, and to wherever your musical theater dreams may take you. Welcome back. Judges, have you decided who you want to save from the bottom 3 to move to our final spot in the top 10?
Yes, we have. It is so hard. You guys, everyone is so talented. It's so hard to do this. I wish that we could pick everybody. But we did pick one, and it is Chesley Duke!
Okay.
The only thing I want to give you just a little tip for next time. Can you be on a lighter background? You were getting a little bit washed out, and we weren't able to really see you. So just pick a lighter background, maybe a little bit more light on your face so we can see you.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Okay.
you're so good.
So good.
That is so great. Congratulations to everyone who is moving on to our top 10. We'll be back next Thursday night, May 27th at 8 p.m. to announce who is making it to our next round. Make sure to follow Broadway World on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to find out when the next round of voting is open to the public. Judges, what a fabulous week. Good night. We'll see you next week, everyone.
Bye.